morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'd like to remind everyone to please make sure that all cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position. Also, please be advised our city council meetings are broadcast on television on Comcast Channel 99 and rebroadcast on WMGJ Radio. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Toles. Here. Councilman Williams.
Here.
Worthy.
Here.
Eccles.
Here.
Billingsley.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
And Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Brian Harbison to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Will you pray with me? Almighty God, we thank you for today. We thank you for the blessings of life, which we certainly don't deserve. We just thank you for your goodness. Pray for your wisdom and knowledge today as the council makes important decisions that affect the city. Pray for the mayor's staff, for him personally, that you will just give them the wisdom they need. God, we just pray that we will reflect what good you have done for us through our everyday lives. We thank you for sending your son, Jesus. Pray that God will shine for you and for this world. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we begin, I do want to thank everyone for being patient with us. We had an expressly heavy agenda, both council and pre-council this morning, and we're also accounting for the fact that we're not going to be meeting on next week due to our visits in DC. So again, thank you in advance for being patient with us. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and council meeting held on February 27th.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of accounts for the week of February 23rd through March 1st.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations, Mayor. Okay. Unfinished business. Item number 8A is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance at 1132 Wainwright Avenue in District 1, Annie Mae Hunter being the last known owner. This resolution was tabled for 30 days on January 30th. What is the pleasure of the council?
On the recommendation of the building department, I move that we table it for another 30 days.
Second.
Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
This is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1325 Barksdale Street in District 2. Chantel Martin and First Family Financial Services being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. We started our case in August of last year. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve. And we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the what is the pleasure of the council?
I move that we obey.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 833 Country Club Drive in District 4. The estate of Irvin L. Neff and the estate of Mary W. Neff, care of James Neff and Compass Bank being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution?
Morning to the council, the mayor, and all, Mr. President.
Sir, I'm sorry, if you would, please give us your name and address, please. for the
Okay,
record.
my name is James Neff. I'm executor of my parents' property on 833 Country Club Drive, Gadsden. And I've been here before, and I believe the abatement nuisance has to do with the property with the building, in which I have received a building permit to work and take down the structure that's causing the problem. Now, I've took some pictures here of different communities and around the area. They're also a nuisance and also my property. And I would like at this time to present them as an exhibit, if I may. It's pretty big.
Oh, okay.
I plan to abide by the city code and take down the structure that is present.
Yeah, they can. Y'all see that? Yeah. If you can't, we'll be glad to pass it right down to you. Yeah, that's a first.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else?
That's some impressive work, Mr. Neff.
Sir?
So that's some impressive work.
Thank you, thank you. But I plan to go ahead and take down the structure and abide by the codes of the city. So I will be in compliance with all codes.
Okay. Mr. Neff, are you asking for additional time?
Yes, sir, please, because I have to get on the structure and prove to the city my word.
Okay, all right. Just one final question before I let you go. Have you spoken with that gentleman right there or this gentleman right here?
No, sir.
Okay,
I have spoken before with Mr. Harbison, but not with Mr. Eccles.
okay.
You said you'd been here before about the same case?
Yes, sir, concerning the shrubbery, which I've cut down, had trees cut down, as you've seen in the photograph, to make in compliance with the city.
Same property, different type of
Oh, okay.
The house has been vacant for, I don't know how many years.
Let's see, about 2003, when my mother passed away.
What is your intentions to do with this?
With the house, I'm keeping it. My daughters will probably move in, and I'm gonna move in shortly thereafter, because I have to do some tender love and care on my house, which is almost paid for. And I've got to get out to renovate a bunch of things in the house to bring it up to speed.
It's my understanding, Mr. Neff, that this is the outbuilding and not the house that they're talking about.
No, it's the patio. The patio had collapsed from a contractor before that bankrupted, and I couldn't sue him. And I've removed everything but one side that has windows in it, and I was going to connect it. But as I've viewed lately through the season, that it's rotted also, and it needs to come down on the patio, and it's connected to the house.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr.
Sounded
Neff.
like a plan.
Thank you, Mr. Neff.
Thank you.
My question is, the pictures that you showed us, those are houses that are around?
Surrounding, Yes, in
On
the
are
area
you-
of the
Are you
house.
saying that they're nuisance also?
Yes, ma'am, there's
Okay.
gutters falling down on some, and on the porches, they got holes where animals can go up through them. And anybody that wants to ride through there, there's even a tree that has fallen during the storm that has not been removed, and it's rotting and destined to fall in the road.
So the building department needs to go and check that area out, you're saying?
Yes, there's other vegetation growing higher than the codes, than 8 feet,
All right.
plenty.
All right, thank you,
All
Mr.
this is on Country Club Drive, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Neff.
Okay, thank
Was
you,
that a
sir.
problem?
I just make sure we was on the right road there.
I'm gonna stick the knife in it.
You're fine.
Yes.
Mr. Neff, you're fine.
Thank you.
See, you starting
Let's
stuff.
hear from the building.
Club.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak in opposition? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, this case involves an accessory building which is actually attached to the rear of the house. You can see in the pictures taken just a few days ago. We're asking for a resolution today to abate the nuisance. We did issue a demolition permit to Mr. Neff this morning. Be glad for him to take care of that before Public Works gets on the scene. If that's done, they'll move on to the next one. Thank you. We are asking for a resolution.
Okay, thank you. What is the pleasure of the council?
How much time should we give him?
How much time?
Yeah. You said you,
That's your district.
yeah.
I'm asking a resolution to be passed today.
Okay.
And realistically, it'll be 60 days before Public Works gets out there. So if you gave him 30, most likely, if he doesn't in the 30 days and you've tabled it, I'll report to the council the nuisance has been abated. I'm asking for a resolution. We're not going out there until we have honored his 30-day demolition permit that he already has in hand.
Okay, do you understand that, Mr. Neff? Do you understand what he said?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you gonna abate?
Huh?
So what is your pleasure?
To abate.
Second.
All right. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1705 Pierce Avenue in District 5. Charles A. Wood and Timothy A. Wood being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, this case involves a burned structure. Been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
Amen.
Y'all gonna really get a camera after a while.
What is the pleasure of the council?
On recommendation of the building department, I vote that we abate the nuisance.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 401 South 11th Street in District 5, Sandra Beck being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started our case in June of last year. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
On recommendation of the building department, I will abate the nuisance.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
It look like one we might be able to fix up or something, ain't it?
I think that's a rental house, and it's the second house that they've gone through like that, so these people are doing that every house they get in, so, yeah, okay.
All right. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 13 is a resolution accepting conveyance of property at 1513 Terrace Drive. The owner has offered to donate this property to the city due to the difficulty of maintaining the property. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
I move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 14 is a resolution authorizing agreement with the Forest Cemetery Foundation. This is for the purchase, planting, and care of 72 dogwood trees at Forest Cemetery. The foundation has agreed to reimburse the city for the cost of the project. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
That's in my district, and we really won't be out of any money for the city, so we're just buying it for them.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 15 is a resolution authorizing an addendum to the agreement with Local Government Services, LLC. This is for drafting and negotiating a new telecommunications franchise agreement with Cable One. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 16 is a resolution authorizing agreement with Crescent Moon Entertainment. This is for Masterpiece to perform at the amphitheater on Friday, August 3rd, and the amount is $3,750. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 17 is a resolution authorizing agreement with Crescent Moon Entertainment, and this is for Chicago Rewind to perform at the amphitheater on Friday, September 7th, 2018, and the amount is $4,000. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 18 is a resolution authorizing an agreement with the Alabama Bass Nation. This is for the city to sponsor a fishing tournament to be held on May 11th through the 12th, and the amount is $8,500. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
I oppose.
we have one no, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 19 is a resolution authorizing agreement with the Alabama Bass Federation Nation. This is for the city to sponsor a fishing tournament to be held on May 26th, and the amount is $2,500. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 20 is a resolution authorizing agreement with the Gadsden Runners Club. This is for club title sponsorship, and the amount is $2,500. the chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
New business, is there any new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like for two items to be considered at this particular time. One is a bid, and this is for the EMS Innovation. This is for bidding for medical, pharmaceutical trailer and support items in the amount of $50,000, and the ordinance for transferring $25,000 from an account, natural disaster fund, for the same pharmaceutical trailer support items.
Second.
Okay, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the ordinance and the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we have unanimous consent to consider.
I move for adoption.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
This is really for the emergency management, and it's also with the Etowah County, so we're sort of splitting the payment. But this is supplies and things that can be used during the time of distress and disaster.
Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution and the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt both items.
I have another item, and this is a request from the Gadsden Commercial Development, and this Fallon Capital LLC would like to locate a Longhorn Steakhouse restaurant near the Gadsden Mall. I ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
I move for adoption.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
That's for the public hearing.
Oh, this will be for the public hearing that would take place on the 20th of March. So basically what we're saying, don't go out and tell anybody they're finna put up the building tomorrow. This is just for public hearing to locate the building near the Gadsden Mall.
As many folks know, you know, one of our tools, really our most meaningful tool in terms of economic development, is to be able to offer up incentives in support of projects. So this, as Councilwoman Toles has referenced, is authorizing a public hearing to discuss a proposed agreement. So that's what this is for. Okay, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any more new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I have one. It's a request from the fire department. It's a resolution amending the agreement with EOS Solutions, Inc. for software and services to the fire department. The original agreement was passed on January the 30th, 2018. It was R38-18. This is amendment is decreasing the yearly cost, so I'm asking for unanimous consent.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today under new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Yes, move for adoption, please.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Okay. Is there any more new business?
Yes, I'd like to ask, got one for unanimous consent, please. I'll ask, is resolution awarding bid number 3375 for the venue at Coosa Landing Furniture Project to the Interior Elements in the amount of $395,372.78.
Second.
Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today under new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Yes, this is all the furniture that will be in the building. We've had people coordinate and all this, and so it's gonna look really nice in there. And it actually came in about $105,000 under budget.
And it should be noted that there was a request for, you know, arguably inappropriate request for gender involvement in this, in this selection.
I did. I wanted to know, was a woman gonna help pick the furniture?
All right. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
All right, is there any more new, isn't there any more new business? Department reports, committees, boards. All right, remarks by the mayor and council. Mayor? Councilwoman Toles?
Oh, in keeping with what I just said, you all know that this is, March is Women's History Month. So we're celebrating women this month. I want you all to know that.
Celebrate women.
That's right, it's Women History, March is Women History Month.
When is
Get your
Men's
cal-
Month?
There's not one,
We don't get one?
there's not one.
We'll let you slide.
I pass.
Mr. Eccles, okay. Councilman Worthy?
I just wanted to say that last week after the council meeting, I went down to Oxford for Workforce Development Committee meeting, and it's just amazing the things that they are doing. But we got to get our young people more involved in the, what they call career tech now instead of vocational school. But there's so many jobs out there, and especially for welding. They have over $50 million in scholarships for welding. And I think that covered like 3 or 4 states. But we need welders, we need people like that. So encouraging the young people to go get a trade. If you're not gonna go to a 4-year school, but you can still go to a 4-year school and be in STEM, the STEM programs and different stuff like that. But I was really excited to listen to all the things that they have with workforce development and the training center they have up in up close to Huntsville. I mean, it's just amazing. And we're gonna try to get that truck down. It's a robotics truck that they have, 18-wheeler, that's a classroom. And we're gonna try to get it down here, so.
Could I piggyback on that right quick? Gadsden State, I'm pretty sure they're still doing it. There's a firm right here at Steele that's a big welding firm. They're always looking. And I think Dr. Lavender has set up classes at night. You can go for 12 weeks and get the first certification, and they could probably put you to work down there too. She was there.
Absolutely. And you don't even have to do an essay. They just want you to go online and fill out the application for the scholarship.
Well, Dr. Toles, you'll appreciate this, and what both of those gentlemen have shared is absolutely correct. I mean, there is truly, there's no shortage of opportunities for people. It's just that you have to skill up to be able to qualify for a lot of those opportunities. And if you're looking for the days when you could just show up with a pulse and get a job, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. And so, I mean, I say that often, but it's the truth. You're going to struggle nowadays. And Councilwoman Toles will appreciate this. I really want to encourage young ladies, at the rate we're going, you young ladies are going to have to fend for yourself. I mean, at the rate we're going, young ladies are having to fend for themselves more and more often. And so please don't turn your nose up at many of these career tech opportunities, because typically we have a shortage of, take it from somebody who's done affirmative action plans for years. One of the challenging areas is to find women who are willing to and interested in the technical areas, i.e. maintenance, general maintenance, and PLCs and things of that nature. We need women in those areas. We need you to participate there. So again, I do want to kind of echo that with that point.
One other thing, we got to take the stigma off career tech. A lot of people think because you're going to career tech, you're not smart, but that's not true. The young man that was speaking from the state of Alabama down there, he was talking about when he was trying to get kids to go into the STEM programs and career tech, one of the AP teachers wouldn't let her kids go because she thought it was sort of beneath them. But that's not true, because even if you want to be an engineer or something, you need to go through the STEM program. So it will help, you know. And we got one good example of Mr. Ferguson. He started out at the Career Tech up at Gadsden School, and then he went on to become an engineer, went to Alabama A&M and became an engineer, and now he's at Harvard in the school up there in the business school. So, that STEM program, the Career Tech, can take you a long way. And I met a teacher over here at Gadsden, at Walmart, to teach at Gadsden City, and matter of fact, she's about to retire, and we talked a long time about the STEM program. And like she was saying, that she has her EDS, and she's topped out at like $60,000 a year. That's all she can make. And she was saying these kids can go and get a 2-year degree and come out making $100,000, a lot more than her, and won't have the type of student loans and stuff that people have to go. So we're just saying we need to encourage our kids to think about that path. So I'm gonna shut up now.
I need to tell the plumber story.
We gotta go eat.
I need to get my room out.
Principal's getting, I tell this a lot because he's exactly right. The plumber was at the doctor's house doing a job. He got finished. He gave the doctor the bill, and the doctor said, "My goodness, that's more than I make." He said, "That's why I quit practicing medicine and started plumbing."
Yeah, I think I have a real, much like the Ferguson example, I have a real life example that's very close to me. My father-in-law, many people who know him don't necessarily know this about him. He has a master's degree in chemistry. Now, you could never look at him. He's that guy that shows up at the bank in overalls, and everybody gives him attention, and you wonder why. Well, he's got a master's degree in chemistry, but to see him, you don't talk about that, and you don't really, even notice that, because the thing that impacted him most when he was in school was his exposure to a career tech program. And what he does right now in his retirement years is utilize those career tech skills. He can fix essentially anything. And it's because of his exposure. And if you sit down 5 minutes and talk to him, he doesn't talk about Goodyear Tire and Rubber, where he retired and served as a lab manager. He talks hardly any about that, but he does talk about those career tech skills. So young people, even if you get that college degree, the exposure to career tech items is what you should be after, because again, I hear people often talk about retirement careers. And those are things you can even do beyond working for somebody else. Councilman Billings?
Why didn't he fix you then?
I'm beyond fixing.
I don't have anything.
Councilman Cannon?
Yeah, I got a district meeting tonight at 5 o'clock at Banks Park. It lasts from 5 to about 6:30. I'll come out and hear what the complaints are.
Really, that was good.
Councilman Reed?
He's a good friend of mine.
I just want to say, continue to be a nosy neighbor.
Yeah.
Keep watching out, report suspicious people in the neighborhood. I don't care where they're walking, on a bicycle, or in a suspicious truck or car. These are the people that are going to come back and rip you off later on. So call the police. They're on a regular beat. They can stop and talk to them and see why they're in the neighborhood to start with. Anyway.
I think we had the pleasure of having Representative Craig Ford up this morning before we got into our council agenda, and he talked about a couple things. He talked about, but the primary thing that he talked about was I-759 and a jobs bill that he's proposing, and so the update that we received on I-759 was very positive. The funding is currently in the budget, as we talked about in the past, but he also highlighted a lot of the lobbying efforts and discussions that the mayor's office has been having with the highway department to make sure that we stay on the radar. And he also talked about the Jobs Act in reference to its ability to help us secure funding that will give us some control over ensuring that we stay on the radar and get the attention that we need from the highway department. So please stay on your local legislative delegation to support that Jobs Act, because that's going to bring quite a bit of new revenue to the area for the purposes of the Southside Bridge, riverfront development, highway and infrastructure improvements, and of course the mega sports complex. And for those that are wondering, again, I think I alluded to this maybe a couple weeks ago, but the city will, I mean, we're the largest municipality in the county. We will be participating in that mega sports complex effort. But again, at this point, we're wanting to make sure that we are engaging that project in the most prudent and the smartest manner possible. So again, I think that board and that authority knows that we'll be supporting them. But again, we're still reviewing it from that perspective. So again, there was some good update for those that were at pre-council this morning. There was some good update and good feedback that we received. Okay. The final announcement that I have here is that that as a reminder, there will be no work session or council meeting next week due to us attending the NLC event in Washington on next week. Okay. Is there anything else? Okay. I entertain a motion that we adjourn.
So moved.
Hey, Brian.